Alright, what is going on, guys? Today we have got some more talk about FIFA 21. We've got a few different details. So, as we're approaching that time right now, we are currently approaching the middle of July. We know that there was a delay, or compared to previous years, they set the date, but generally we see the game later in September, but instead it's going to be released a couple weeks later in October. Not a major delay, and maybe come to be expected. Some games may not even have dropped this year, so I think we've got to be thankful we're going to see a new FIFA. If it's going to have some improvements, that's the fact. Something we're still going to learn over the coming weeks. I'll be covering that on my channel, so make sure you sub if you're new. I'll be covering a lot of the details, but let's get into this right now. This is very, very highly rumored, as this graphic has surfaced over on the interwebs. So yeah, FIFA 21 is the official logo and that. With Paraguay, their first division is going to be in FIFA 21. I saw some comments like over on Twitter and stuff, people saying, who cares about Paraguay? What players are going to use from them? They haven't got anyone, but it adds depth definitely to career mode. I'm a big career mode player. That's what you see on the channel. Probably you see the aspect of Ultimate Team. Yeah, they haven't got players that's going to win me games, so I don't really care about the Paraguayan League. So, but no, it always adds depth to the game. It's definitely bigger than that. Like, it's good for the audience, definitely. If you're from Paraguay, let us know in the comments. Would you be happy about this? I'm sure you will be, but yeah, let us know. Let us know how you're feeling about that. There could be some younger talents coming through that you'll have more knowledge of now as well. So yeah, a decent addition. But now actually moving on to some PES, but this is big for FIFA as well. It's related in the way. Inter Milan, they got the licenses for them last year. Pro Evo, Konami. And for this year's game, PES 2021, they've lost the licenses. So I reckon EA, and I don't think this is a good thing. I remember touching on it last year around this time of the year when there was, licenses PES was getting, FIFA was getting. Now it's just a continuous fight, and both games are going to be hurt from it. So, yeah, that is actually official. This is on Konami's website for, you see PES 2020. It says, thank you for playing eFootball PES 2020 and continue support. Basically, the licensing contract with Inter will not be renewed. So EA, they must have spent the bag, and they secured the licenses. But as I touched on it, like, it's the fact, like, fighting, Juve, are they going to be called Piedmont Calcio again in FIFA 21? And like, it's going to be a fight forever from now. Maybe it's a bit because this might have it hurt Konami because they got the licenses, as I said, for Juventus, and then EA were trying to get they got the European competitions, like for Champions League and that. I don't like the fight year on year. Like, they compete with each other so heavily, which is to be expected, but I don't think that's the best for the viewer. Well, the player, for us, for the players of these games. I'd love two good football games. That would, but again, they have to compete with themselves, so it's a really between each other. So yeah, it's a really tough one. But what do you guys think overall? As we are going to move on to next, we're going to move on to a little bit more details of career mode in FIFA 21. As that's a big career mode's been a big game for myself. We touched on Ultimate Team a little bit, as I said, with the Paraguayan leagues. That's something where career mode, it will be a lot more relevant. So you could do, like, adding depth of the leagues adds a lot more to doing maybe a journeyman style of career mode. What if you want to try and win a league title in a country you haven't before? That's where these additions are going to be just so good. Even though a good amount of people would say, why would you want to play there? But definitely for those people that want to try and manage in different countries. So now we're going to be moving on to some ideas. If EA listen what we want to see. using real managers. Obviously, we have the side of creator manager, with his general green hair there to just randomize that. But anyway, use a real manager. This is what we would love. Imagine being able to, let alone customize a manager, add some hair to Pep, yeah? But taking a real manager and doing a career mode with them would be so fun because it just feels a lot more of realism. As I said, if you add hair to Pep, maybe not as realistic. But in terms of the managerial side of things, to be in control, to be control of a real life manager, and you could, I would love for them to have the option where you can manage their current club, or you can just choose any club with that manager. Just add a bit more to be a lot more immersive that way. Because myself, like you don't want to use like your real name all the time, or just make up a made up name. To control a real manager, and say if you support like Man City and Pep, if he doesn't move on with their fiasco with the Champions League stuff, with financial fair play. But the point definitely stays true. So through the manager creation, so a lot more than just that, add a bit more features. So take a look at these details right now. Your attack and defense ratings will give your players attribute boost. This is a nice feature, depending on both your ratings and their ratings. Your ratings will grow or decrease over time depending on how well you perform in each area of the pitch. So again, performance-based, you get rewarded, good results, good to see. The better the club, the higher rating you have to be to join them, but you can pick any team you want initially regardless of rating. It is recommended to start at lower rating and progress. It depends. It really depends what you like and what you find a challenge in, to be fair. You might want to start like the game with a big club to get the grips of it, and then try and do a road to glory. And then, as I said before, touch on what I did, what I mentioned with that. If you want to do a journeyman, like a journeyman road to glory, you can do all these different type of careers, and that will be so suitable when you're starting with a low rating, and you can see you build up. So you have something to work towards. You don't really have that now through your manager's growth. You got your manager rating, but it doesn't really mean too much, and it doesn't feel like you're growing a lot. You don't have that feeling. So as you can see right now through the manager creation, you start with that 3-star loyalty. Look at the motivation. The lower your loyalty rating, the more likely you are to receive job offers. I'd love to start on both, like the lowest rating, like 1 star, or even you can start like half a star, or no, like a quarter, definitely, like a 5% or something like that. Like it is in Football Manager, like your manager's reputation. That could be, you could add that into there as well, and for your manager's reputation of how you're seen and how likely you are to get jobs and all that. So as you can see, if you perform poorly off the pitch, objectives, obviously they could build on the objectives, add more, make more things that you can boost or hurt your reputation or your loyalty, how that is in that little feature right now. So I like that. That's what needs to be added, not just one manager rating. And if you have a poor manager rating, you can get sacked. And if you got a good manager rating, you'll keep your job. Especially when you got objectives there, it just doesn't add a lot of depth to it. And this will take that. We got to get to the next layer. We got to get to the next step, because I think we're at the point we're not really going to see EA going to be revamped. We're not going to get a revamp of features. So what we're going to see things like this. We're going to add things, decent features that would be enhancing the mode. Because, we've got to be realistic. We're not going to see a revamp. And in a way, I can't picture. I can't picture them revamping and, switching up the whole appearance of career mode. So next up here, you can see the choose the real manager, as we touched on. You can be Pep, Klopp. And I think as a minimum, I'm pretty sure, added into the game, you would start at their current club. But, it would be a great feature to actually be able to select them at any club in the world. But in terms, as I said, of the fun level of playing, I reckon this could get some more players, maybe some ultimate team players. They might not see career mode that exciting, but you're like, ooh, maybe you can manage Klopp at Liverpool, Pep at City, and you can have just that fun. I feel it might introduce more people to playing career mode, which formerly used to be the most popular mode in FIFA, of course. But I can most definitely picture that being a fun feature in career mode, being able to not just be your own manager, being a real life manager, having them on the pitch and all that. And you see, like we touched on there in terms of the manager boost, depends how well you do. You can take a look at Marco Reus, have his attributes increasing. So it's not just via morale, which I don't like that. And I feel like it's not realistic. The player, like how we are right now in career mode, players' abilities increased based on how happy they are. And yeah, it shouldn't be reflected that way. I think, yeah, to do more with your manager, to get better, if, yeah, you're a good manager and you can get better out of the players, and you could have something like chemistry, maybe like in Ultimate Team. Say if the player's been playing under the manager for a certain amount of years, you could have a bigger boost in those certain attribute areas. Those are the things that would make sense. You know what I mean? Opposed to just being, oh, this player is happy, he should get a +8 on his finishing or whatever. You know what I mean? Or +5. It's not really realistic. It doesn't hit the right way, but I can get the idea. If a player is happier, he should be playing better, but I like, for them to present it in this way would be a lot more better. So anyway, we touched on a few things here. Right now, we're going to be focusing a lot of news, if you've been on my channel for a while, but obviously when FIFA drops, we're going to be heavy on the content. I'm going to be doing a career mode that I always do at the start of the year, but also this year, I'm going to be doing a lot of Ultimate Team. I'm going to be doing streams over on Twitch, so I'll have my Twitch link in the description if you want to go follow me. I'm doing Football Manager stuff at the moment, but yeah, I'm going to do a Road to Glory from the absolute beginning of that. So yeah, it's going to be a big year in terms of the content, but stay tuned on the channel for the current news. You'll see regular videos being uploaded, so leave a like on the video, your thoughts on everything you saw in this one about all these features and the news. Let us know. I'll see you guys next time.